Novelas no gunge ci sama kër gi ba xet ji ne duma toog duma tàyyi man daal de moo koy wëri parfum Novelas suñ ko bis ki kër gi xet gi day neex parfum Novelas mooy waaja lii mooy parfum Novelas parfum bi dafa neex forest bi dafa neex saxaar ba bi dafa neex lii mooy parfum Novelas parfum bi dafa neex almadina boo ko bompee xet gi day gunguni lii mooy parfum Novelas baxuur bi dafa neex grise marine bi ak yëpp a neex ak Novelas féppay xeeñ neex.
Good morning there. You're watching QTV this morning, and I am your host, Jennifer Sonko, and joined by my amazing co-host, Ibrahim Balde.
Yeah, Jay, it's good to be here.
Yeah.
And we apologize that yesterday we were not here due to one or two things. We're trying to enhance our operations to satisfy our viewers. So we are back again, and it's going to be a wonderful program. All that you missed yesterday, we'll give it to you today on this platform.
Yeah, so all that you missed yesterday, we'll give it to you due to reasons beyond our control. We weren't here yesterday, but I mean, we're looking forward to an amazing show today.
Absolutely.
So just to give you a rundown of some of the activities that we have here, we have the African proverb as usual. We have the newspaper review. We are joined by Momodou Mbodj to help us analyze some of the stories that we have on the papers. Also on Community Watch, if you've been following developments, you would realize. So we'll be joined by our colleague Aliou Cisse to take us through this development and also social issues. We'll have a representative from the Child Protection Alliance to take us through some of the developments happening around there. And as well, if you've been following developments as well, you would realize that there's a particular case currently involving a child and a guardian. So we'll be talking about that. Also, sports update. We'll be joined by Adedrame to take us through what is happening in the world of sports. And of course, click segment as well. So that's all we have. What is our African proverb?
Yeah, Jenna, well, let's roll the African proverb right now. Life is like a shadow and a mist. It passes quickly by and is no more. Meaning life is too short and you only live it once. Yes, live once, Jenna.
Yes,
it means a lot.
It means a lot, and you know, for me, this proverb just shows me that you, as an individual, you have to be yourself. You have to be authentic. You know, that's what it shows me. You have to. You should not fake it, because I just feel like the moment you're not authentic or you want to fake something that you're not, life is going by. You're not going to actually realize your true self. And to know who you are deep down, you have to be authentic to bring out, you know, that inner spirit that you have inside of you to be able to achieve some of the things that you want to. And we also talked about procrastination the last time. Do not wait to achieve some of the things that you want to achieve. Despite the constraints, you know, put together significant steps. If you need to have a to-do list, put up a to-do list. I know it doesn't work for everyone, but put it up if you feel it can work for you and work towards your success. There is no time.
Absolutely.
And there are certain also things that you want to do and you're young and you feel like, oh, I still have time. I'm still young. I have to wait. No, no, no.
Definitely.
Time is not there. It's not waiting for you. You have to work towards it as soon as possible. Even if you achieve certain things at the age of 20, 25, it's okay to achieve it. Like we said the last time, if your hands are clean, you can dine and wine with kings.
Definitely. Jenaba, this proverb is very important, and many a time I look at myself where I was 10 years ago, 10 years back, and where I am today. Sometimes I'll say to myself, what will happen in the next 10, 15 years?
If I work hard and work towards it.
So life is something delicate. It's something that, you know, like it is said, it passes by quickly. So it's important for you not to waste your time on things that are not significant.
And you know, I would disagree with you. You said it's too delicate. No, for me, it's not. It's simple. Let it flow.
Yes, delicate in the sense that it is too, it's too fragile. They call it a fragile thing.
That is quite true.
Yeah.
But it's if you deem it as fragile, then you might be stiff to actually take on certain ventures
No,
or
it
get
should,
into certain things.
it should not prevent
Just
you.
free up.
Yes, it should not prevent you from taking up challenges.
Sure.
You know, that's life. You have to take up challenges. But in the sense that spend your life wisely.
Sure.
Try to impact others. Sometimes, Jenaba, a person will live here for 90 years. At the end of the time, you're gone. We've seen a whole lot of people, the likes of Nelson Mandela, the likes of Sadauda Kairaba Jawara. So these are all people, their history remains still with us. You understand? So
and also, there's something I want to put across. In as much as we're talking about the fact that life is too short and you get to live it once, it is also important for us to note that in as much as sometimes you can't achieve certain things while you're young, it's never too late as well.
Absolutely.
We've seen people at the age of 60, at the age of 70, achieving certain things. Just McDonald's. The last time I was taking a look at his biography, and I saw that I think at 70 or at 60, that is the time he was able to achieve that big restaurant.
Okay.
You know, so sometimes it just takes a process.
I've seen a whole lot of people who achieved their dreams at a very, like old age. So it's important not to give up. The worst thing that you can do in your life is to give up. Giving up, it's not a go area. So it's important for you to keep up, you push, but make sure spend your life wisely on relevant things, things that are very important.
It's important.
Yeah. So,
but by the way, you know, we've been talking a lot about proverbs. I'm just wondering, what is the study of this? Do people actually consider? Is there a term related to proverbs? I don't know. I'm just wondering.
So you don't know?
No, I don't.
Paramiology.
Yes,
they call it paramiology.
That is the study of proverbs.
That is the study of proverbs.
Okay, so proverbs really has a study.
Exactly.
Okay, I didn't know that. So I think it's important that we get to know. But anyway, like you always say, proverbs are good. You know, it keeps us going. Like it says, life is short and you only live it once. So make sure to, you know, just try to work towards it. Sometimes if you can't achieve what you want to achieve at a certain point, continue working towards it. You can achieve it at 60 or 70. I'm not where I am still. You know, I'm still working towards where I want to be. I'm not there. I'm not halfway there.
Well,
so
it's not going to be easy.
No.
It's not just going to be rosy and smooth all the time.
That's the thing.
I was telling my little brother that there is no shortcut to success.
There is none. So viewers, we will go for a short commercial break. And when we come back, we will head right on to the newspaper review. We're joined by our colleague Momo Dumboch to help us analyze some of the stories we have on the papers. Do stay tuned.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
The biggest mobile money service in the Gambia has taken mobile banking to the next level. Now, you can link your Q Money wallet with your bank account. Yes, link your Ajib or EcoBank accounts with your Q Money wallet and get instant access to your cash anytime. No need to queue at the bank anymore. Transfer funds from your bank account to your wallet or your wallet to your bank account using Q Money Bank Link is the fastest, most secure, and convenient way to transfer funds between your wallet and bank account. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. We already dealt with our African proverb. Now we're heading right on to the newspaper review. Like I said, we're joined by our colleague Momo Dumboch to help us analyze some of the stories we have. That is Faraya.
Yes, absolutely. The Faraya headline reads, High Court dismisses parliamentary objection raised by UTG Staff Association. Okay. Gambia oppressive laws remain despite President's promises. Gambia validates maiden defense policy. Okay, that's what we have, Jennifer.
Okay, so moving on the standard, we have NTL Trust Gambia opens up investment for Gambia. We have 75 people died in road accidents from January to August. President Barrow returns to Banjul today. Farmers President accuses Barrow of turning tour into political campaign. Tourism Minister welcomes new UK COVID-19 travel protocols. NCCE alarmed by religious ethic hate speeches ahead of election. Convict rearranged for escaping custody. Woman demands investigation into husband's death in Gabon. That's all we have on the standard. Thank you so much for joining us, Mamoudou Mbodj. Yes. Right. So moving on, we know that a new defense policy has been launched. You know, to be honest, I've not taken my time yet to go through it to see what it entails. But prior to that, let's just take a look at defense in the country and really the need to put up policies in place. And what do you think these policies should entail? Let's pretend probably you've not seen it. Have you seen it yet?
No, who has?
Okay.
I mean, wasn't it the other day, not long ago, a few days ago, that we heard the launching by the launching by the defense minister.
Yeah.
So yes, I mean, we've been on this path really since 2017, isn't it? So now they've got the policies, apparently the strategies and all the rest of it, they're all in place. Now really what remains is to implement. I mean, one has to be honest that it's been slow. We remember the EU representative here, Lajos, you know, really having a go, as it were, at the government for the slow pace. But again, the government, for instance, the minister once said that, you know, with these reforms, it will take time. They are highly complex. This is what they always say. So we'll see how it goes.
But what do you think should be priorities? Like, as a Gambian citizen, what do you think should be some of the priorities in that policy?
You know, the whole idea of security sector is sort of encompasses so much.
It does.
You know what I mean? So it's one of these things where you cannot sequence them one step at a time. Yes, you will do so.
But there must be a particular area.
But with the army, there's something you're going to do.
Yeah.
With the police, there's something you're going to do. With the SIS, there's something you're going to do. So you have all these different units, if you like, of what they call it, the security sector, and you have to reform all of them. So we all know that because look at it in the papers, we see it in the papers and we cover it in the news as well. The crime, murders going on. There's so much worry, concern over civil defense, the civil security, as it were, at home. So we all know that there's a problem there. Something must be done. And in other areas as well. So everybody knows that. So we will see with the introduction of this new policy, implementation, let's put it that way, of these new policies, the objectives and implementation, what will change. It will be interesting to see what will change.
Yeah, but Ibrahim, if you take a look at it, the defense budget is not quite bad. So you talked about all of these things need to change. So I don't know what the problem is, resource, capacity, or what it is, because the budget is not looking bad at all.
Yes, because when you look at security in this country, most of the time people talk about it. We talk about security reform. We talk about the policies. People are talking a lot about it, and it's like things. Are they taking shape, Mr. Mbodj, from your own point of view?
Well, the very fact that they've got this launch gives some shape to whatever is going on. Yes, and I wish that those people who talk about policy just turn around and ask a simple question: what is a policy? I mean, public policy is a really difficult thing, you know what I mean? Even with the best of intentions, at the best of times, you can come up with the policy, you will never have the right outcome.
Sure.
Fail. So this is one thing to realize. So now what matters is this. We have to look at it. We have to look at what the policy is, and the debate will be around that, and how quickly would these things be implemented. Have we got the mechanisms in place? Having the policy is one thing. Having the mechanisms in place for the implementation of these policies is quite another. Yes, and we know the government is slow, but the media, this is what we're here for. We will keep on, we'll be on their backs all the time. Implement, implement, implement.
Sure.
Well, implementation, it's a problem at some point, but I hope it is implemented.
Yeah, we will follow developments and keep you up to date in relation to that. So right now, let's go to the president's tour, because we've seen Farmers President accuses Barrow of turning tour into political campaign, and we also know that President Barrow returns to Banjul today. The last time we were here with Ami Bojang Sisoho, and she talked about the fact that it's not a bad idea for someone to say it's a political campaign, because at the end of the day, the president made promises, so he's going out there to talk to his people. So it's okay, according to her, for people to call it some form of politics.
Let's be realistic here and be grown up about it. The people tour, the president having to do it, they call it constitutionally mandated. It is by nature political. I am not sure how you can separate it from the politics.
That's what she talked about.
That's exactly it. I'm not sure whether one should really waste too much time on this sort of thing. It is by its nature political. I just do not understand what kind of idealism I'm not sure. Is it idealism or is it even an illusion of how democracy, how politics works? I mean, I just don't understand.
Well, everybody, you have your own way of thinking and the way you see things. I watched the minister yesterday, Minister of Tourism, on QTV. He was clarifying even the issue of those ID cards. The guy that came with the ID card sack, showing that we are in for Barrow. He said Barrow didn't say for anybody to collect any ID card. So it's just a way that people think. Maybe those people, they think collecting these IDs will impress the president. Don't you think?
Yes, that sort of thing will happen all the time. And what you've just said there, I mean, we all think whatever we want in our own way. Granted, you are entitled to your own opinion, but you are not entitled to your own facts.
Sure.
Facts are general. So you just cannot come and invent the facts. Have your opinions, not the facts.
Yep. So moving on.
Not the facts.
We have NTL Trust Gambia opens up investment in the Gambia. We see that the trust company NTL Trust has been established in the Gambia to serve as a bridge between foreign investors and local financial institutions. So the new company will also guide investors through the necessary formalities so they all need to do in relation to signing documents and sending funds. So do you think with the coming of this, investments will be structured in a way? Do you think it's necessary with the establishment of this particular intermediary between Gambia and foreign investors?
Well, I thought that investment was already structured in a way with GAIPA.
Okay.
That's really what...
The Gambian.
Yeah, absolutely. That is what GAIPA is for. So this one is probably what, complementary, or should I say perhaps supplementary, because I would have thought that GAIPA would be doing, I mean, its job well. So of course, anything to sort of improve, investment, to have more investors coming in, of course, one wouldn't knock it. One will have to, of course, welcome it. We just hope that people who come to invest do not sort of have disproportionately more advantages, yielding more than we are. So we just hope that these investors, when they come, we have contracts that sort of benefit us. We do not lose. Because sometimes when you are in a vulnerable situation, for instance, now Gambia, in so many ways we are vulnerable, going through a transition, depleted coffers, not much going on. So you might feel that you are in a weak position. So when you go to negotiate contracts, you allow the other party to sort of really take advantage of you. That is my biggest fear right now.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Mboj, for me, I don't think, does it make sense for us to have institutions that are doing the same job? You just mentioned GAIPA. They are here to make sure they help investors, they help young people, they help those kind of businesses. So having another institution trying to do the same thing, it's just going to be a repetition of responsibilities.
Yes, if they were to do exactly the same thing, it depends. We have to look at the details before really we can pass judgment on anything. But because perhaps this new MTN, this new entity, perhaps it's doing something specific, as it were. It is really complementing what GAIPA is doing. Hopefully there wouldn't be a duplication of things, doing things.
But anyway,
so
the last time we talked about the fact that it is okay to also have private institutions and public institutions, just to enhance some form of healthy competition as well. We talked about that. So even if they're doing the same thing, they are a private entity and have a right to operate at the end of the day, just like public institutions have.
Well, with me, everybody knows my bias is left to me alone. I'll probably even privatize government.
Anyway, but let's just say it is okay for both public and private to just, you know, do what they have to do freely. Even if it's the same thing, you know, let's bring up some form of healthy competition. It's normal.
Okay, Jenna, but I saw a very interesting story. Let's do road accidents.
Yeah, road accidents. Yes, we've talked about this quite a, you know, very frequently. 75 people died in road accidents from January to August. Just the last time we had this conversation with Adi Durami. So how do you feel when you're...
And 637 accidents between January to August. And 75 people died.
Yeah, and it's very good that we have these statistics because prior we didn't have access to such statistics and didn't know how deadly our roads are. But with this, at least, we'll be able to improve.
Actually, on the net, we've been having these statistics for a very long time.
We've been,
it's just
but
that
the publicity
because
wasn't there.
Well, when you look at the world rankings, well, the publicity should be given by the journalists.
Sure.
So the journalists should know. And then you tell people.
But it wasn't told.
It's our job to find out.
It is our job to find out.
Yes.
So when you look at the world rankings, I mean, they've been doing these rankings for a long time now. We were all shocked in the office to realize that in the world, Gambia is fourth. There is an emergency. We have to treat it as such. And we have Dr. Mariana as well, who's been also collecting his own data of the number of fatalities and injuries and all of that from road traffic accidents and the like. So we know that there is a problem. So the police officer, what's his name? King Koli, telling us that this is the statistic, this is what's going on. 75 people died between January and August. What are we going to do about it? That is really what the question is. That's the heart of the matter right now. All of us, when we use traffic, we do. I commute using public transport all the time. So we see what is going on all the time. But there doesn't seem to be any
it's
strategy.
Normalized. The fact that people are dying from road accidents, it's actually normal now in the Gambian context.
When you talk about road accidents, it involves a lot. Everybody is involved. The police, the drivers, NRA.
They are all part of it.
You understand? Sometimes you see a vehicle will overload to an extent that you will feel like this is not going to work. And you pass the policeman. And the roads, I mean, Mr. Mboj, the responsibility should be taken by everybody.
Sure.
Yes.
But anyway, we talk about traffic congestion. Sometimes it's part of the reasons why there are a lot of road accidents. I'm aware that the OIC road constructions will start next week. So hopefully when we have more of feeder roads and then maybe there's normal plying, you know, whereby it's not tight, hopefully the narrative will change just a little bit because it also takes attitude.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but this is very interesting. Obviously, yes, the conditions of the road that matter, all sorts of things matter. But I think I once read one study where it said human error.
Yeah,
the major contributor to these accidents. And we all see really on our roads what's going on. Drivers so completely impatient. Sometimes, especially when you get to intersections, I wonder, do these people actually know traffic regulations? You don't seem to know really who's got right of way. And then all the animosity, the tense situation, and then you have the swearing. Suddenly you start
all over
swearing
the place.
all over the place. Nobody's got any patience. So that's what we can work on right now. Let's work on it.
First.
Changing the roads, of course, that is going to take time. Maybe there's something that we can do about attitudes and regulations.
Sure.
That sort of thing. What is it that we can do now? But absolutely, the statistics, they are alarming.
It is alarming. Thank you so much, Mohamed Mboj, for joining us. And you know, it's always good to have you here.
I love it. I love talking to you.
I know. Thank you so much for coming. So viewers, we will take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll head right on to the Community Watch. We'll be joined by our colleague, Aliou Cisse, to take us through the First Lady's prestigious award. Do stay tuned.
Check out the all-new Tigo 8 at S-Pass Motors. Call 3522-222 or 353-2222 for more information. Cherry.
Welcome back, viewers, from that break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. Just to tell you, if you're just tuning in, you've missed a little bit because we are done with our African proverb as well as the newspaper review. But now we'll be heading right on to the community watch. Like I mentioned, the First Lady of the Gambia, Fatoumata Barbaro, has received a prestigious award. Joining us to give us updates in relation to that is our colleague Ali Cisse. But before we go into that, we'll just take a look at this break, this video rather. So when we take a look at that, it will give us an understanding of how this event unfolded, and when we come back, Ali Cisse will take us through. Do stay tuned.
The Voice Achievers Award 2021 took place at the Intercontinental Festival City Hotel in Dubai, United Arab Emirates on 19 September 2021. The theme of this year's award is Bridging Economies, UAE and Africa. The Voice Achievers Award is one of the biggest African social events and is dedicated to appreciating contributions from Africans who, through their activities and influence, have impacted positively on the lives of fellow Africans. This was the first time the ceremony was hosted in an Asian country. In line with its mission and vision, the Voice Achievers Award collaborated with I Am Africa under the leadership of Her Excellency Ambassador Laira Rahal to foster best corporate relationship between UAE and Africa, to recognize and appreciate leadership qualities and innovative and sustainable growth efforts targeted at advancing the cause of Africa. At the event, First Lady Fatoumata Barbaro was hailed and celebrated for her renowned humanitarian interventions in supporting women and children through her foundation since becoming First Lady in 2017. Madam Barbaro expressed delight at receiving the award, which she said will further push her to give back to women and children.
From today, I will add million miles on my journey. I will not stop doing the good thing that I'm doing. I will continue doing good, and I will encourage others to do the same thing. Humanity first. We need to be there for our people. And this award, I will dedicate it to the Gambian children and women, and to the children of the whole continent, Africa, and to the children of the world. Thank you.
Also recognized alongside the First Lady were two other Gambians, Fatoumata Jawampa Cisse, former Speaker of the National Assembly, a politician and social worker, and Abubakar Jawara, a businessman.
So I am happy because they are the only country that have more than one recipient. Because like you see, Kenya, Nigeria, they all have one, and South Africa and Zimbabwe, but we have three. So that's why I'm happy and elated, because we dominated and they have been saying it. And because of that, the awarding committee and the board of The Voice have also decided to come to the Gambia next year.
The First Lady's delegation included Claudia Nicole, the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, and Fatou Kinte, the Minister of Gender and Children. They had this to say.
She's an amazing person. In fact, we were thinking it's only us in the Gambia who have recognized her amazing character of openness, character of kindness, character of interest in the development of humanity.
And Ms. Fatoumata Barbaro has been very supportive of all the programs in the Gambia, whether it's about women or children, whatever program is our development, she is supportive of. And we also want to thank very much our President, His Excellency, President Adama Barrow, President of the Republic of the Gambia, who made the environment conducive for all this work to be able to be done.
The award started in 2012 in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and has recognized over 250 recipients, including African businesses, individuals, corporate organizations, governmental institutions, and ordinary citizens contributing to the advancement of humanity in Africa. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
I am so interested in learning how that dance is done. Aliou, are you interested? I am.
Well,
it's so classy and calm.
You know what? I was like, what are they doing?
And Aliu decided to put it in there.
Well, this is what you expect when you go to the Middle East and you know some of these Asian countries.
Yeah.
This part of their culture.
Yeah.
So is that how they do their thing?
Yeah.
No, ladi. Ñun comme nuñ fi amé suñ sabar suñ mbalax suñ yu rek suñ ñep. Wow. Anyway, congratulations to Her Excellency Fatoumata Babaro for that award, and thank you so much, Aliu Cisse, for also highlighting this. You know, it's a prestigious one.
Yes, thank you very much, Jeneba and Bande. It's a pleasure to be back here again. I mean, like you said, I will start by first and foremost congratulating the First Lady of the Republic of the Gambia, Fatoumata Babaro, and of course Fatoumata Jahumpa Cisse, former Speaker of Parliament, and Abubakar Jawara, a businessman. I mean, this, once again demonstrate the fact that, it is just good to work and serve humanity. I mean, if you look at this award, Jenaba, you will realize that it's all out of recognition of the First Lady's commitment and dedication to serving humanity, particularly women and children, since they established the First Lady's Foundation in 2017. You will realize that in the past, she has really done so much through her foundation in terms of supporting women and children. Even during the COVID-19, she was very instrumental in going out to meet children, to share with them some of the preventive measures against the pandemic. And not only that, she went further to donate face masks to the Minister of Education for distribution to schools. And she also visited, schools in the Central and Upper River region, where she also donated water bottles, to the school children, just to discourage that tendency of having children sharing the same bottle, just to, like I said, prevent the spread of the pandemic. And not only that, you will realize that the First Lady for our foundation has also partnered with Mark Foundation, and then she was able to facilitate the sponsorship for over 35 medical personnel in different fields, particularly in underserved fields such as infertility, and most of them have traveled outside the country, and they are now pursuing their courses, and it is hoped that when they come back, it is really going to impact positively on the health sector. And you will realize that even, like I said, even during the pandemic, she was also out trying to give out food items to vulnerable groups such as the people living with disability. And not only that, but even at the SOS Children's Center, she also visited there and then supported the children with food items. So overall, I think the First Lady, to be honest, she has really been doing great through her foundation, and I think this is just apt and timely.
And you are a beneficiary through the Mark Foundation. You are an award-winning journalist
exactly,
in that
through the
area.
Mark Foundation, because what happened, the Mark Foundation partnered with the First Ladies of Africa, and they come up with this initiative they call Stay Home Awareness Campaign, where media practitioners across Africa were asked to submit some of their works they have done as far as raising awareness in relation to COVID was concerned. So it wasn't just the Mark Foundation and the First Lady, but it was Mark Foundation and First Ladies of Africa. And an independent committee was set up to scrutinize all the submissions by media personnel.
And congratulations.
Exactly. So,
you can continue.
Yes. So you realize that, the First Lady, like I said, is not the first person to have received this award. In the past, we've seen so many people who have received this award. This started in 2012, and then we had the First Lady of Rwanda, had also received this award previously. And then, the former president of Sierra Leone, Ernest Bai Krumah. Wow. These are all people who have really, received this award from the Voice Magazine Achievers Award. So it is quite significant to have our First Lady as among the 30 awardees at this year's event in Dubai.
Yes, and one of the people on that award ceremony said Gambia received 3 awards.
We stood out.
Yes, this is very important. Other countries received, but they received one. But like Gambia have 3 awards. How important is this to us, Aliu?
It's very important having a small country, I would say, like the Gambia, receiving 3 awards against countries like Kenya and then other big countries. It's quite inspirational, and then this shows that the Gambia, despite our size, we can still go out there and make a name for ourselves. And because of that, the organizers of this award are now planning to bring this award next year to the Gambia. And it is something that we are looking forward to, and we hope the government, the private sector will all join in organizing this event. Like I said, it's a quite very important recognition, a big award. Like I said, previously even our own Gambian, Fatou Bensouda, the former chief prosecutor of the ICC, had also received this award. And even the former president of Zambia as well,
Due to time constraints, I just want to understand, is the award based on nomination, or is it them just looking out for the people that they feel are doing quite well?
Exactly,
what is the methodology of them? What is the methodology that they use to actually award?
Yeah, because there's a committee that is set up, and this committee look at, what people are doing around Africa. So that was how the First Lady was identified, because they must have been following what she has been doing back home here in the country, and that's why she was identified for this award. I think it's important because it will also motivate other women in the Gambia to also commit themselves to serving humanity.
What about Fatoumata Jahumpa Cissé and Abubakar Jawara?
Yeah, they were also identified, because you have to understand Fatoumata Jahumpa Cissé, like I said, is a former speaker of the parliament, a politician and social worker, quite very active in whatever is happening back home and even outside the country. For Abubakar Jawara is also a businessman who is really doing a lot in the country through his business, supporting individuals. So
the First Lady also mentioned something very important. I can say she dedicates most of her time to Gambian children and women. He said the award is for the Gambian women and children.
Yeah, for many people who perhaps will have that personal interaction with the First Lady, of official engagements, you will realize that she has a big heart for Gambian women and children. It depends on how you see her, but if you really interact with her personally, you will realize that she really has that big heart for Gambian women and children, and then she is committed to really giving back to the women of this country. And because of that, she has been using her foundation to build partnership with other international organizations. Apart from the Mark Foundation, the Al Balsam in Saudi Arabia, a Swedish-based organization, has also been partnering with the First Lady. And just a few months ago, we also had a delegation of health experts from Delaware in the United States who were here to train some of our health personnel on infant mortality. So I think it's quite relevant that she is recognized for her.
Well, Jennifer, I hope we will be there one day to receive ours.
We will get the surely. You're doing so well. You never know.
You never know.
We might be the next batch.
Who knows?
Maybe they are talking about here.
Or maybe this morning program, they might say, Jennifer Soko and Bande are invited to Dubai.
And also, we need to realize one thing about this. It's not constitutionally mandated for these First Ladies to actually have foundations. But because of their characters and the influence that they have, I totally feel like it is important that they set up foundations as such, because they'll be able to actually attract different funding and channel it on the vision that they have. So keep it up, and congratulations once again to Her Excellency Fatoumata Barbaro for this prestigious award, as well as Fatoumata Jahumpa Cissé and Abubakar Jawara, who's also donating here and there when it comes to initiatives that young people and women have. So we'll go for a short commercial break now. Thank you so much, Aliou Cissé, for joining us. And when we come back, we will head right on to social issues. We are joined by a representative from the Child Protection Alliance to talk about children's issues. If you've been following developments, you will know what I mean. So we'll take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have a discussion in relation to that. Do stay tuned.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and RIA just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any QMoney agent across the country to receive your payment for free, or use the money immediately to buy credit, QPower, and other QMoney services. It's fast, safe, and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sinu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply. Looking for... To make sure your company's products and services reach your potential customers, it is essential that you choose the right channel for your marketing purposes. QTV has the widest reach locally and beyond, and we can give your business the visibility it needs. Call QTV Marketing on +220 324 4444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm and take your business to the world. Join the Gambia's fastest growing network and enjoy high-speed 4G LTE. Dial *335# to subscribe to QCell's 4G LTE service. There's no need to swap your SIM. QCell, Senior Boss. We innovate, others follow. Light
From the beginning of time, light has been there.
It is integral to our survival and to our way of living.
We need light to work,
To build.
to grow things, and even to see our loved ones.
Light makes things easier and better.
So QCell has changed the way you buy Q-Power to make it easier and more accessible.
You can now access the same service quickly and get your cash power tokens instantly with the new QCell Q-Power code.
To light up your world, simply dial *363#.
With a touch of your fingers,
With ease and convenience from the comfort of your home or office,
you can bring light into your world instantly with *363#.
Q-Power, lighting your world.
QCell Sunyabus.
We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back, viewers, from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. I am your host, Jenna Bosonko, and joined by Ibrahim Balde, my co-host. So just to say, you've missed a lot already because we've dealt with our African proverb, the newspaper review, as well as our community watch. So now we're heading right on to social issues, and we're joined by the national coordinator of the Child Protection Alliance, Lamin Fati, to just talk about children's issues in general. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Fati. Yes, to keep the ball rolling, before we get into recent developments when it comes to the protection of children, I'm afraid it's important that we lay the foundation, because often when I interview representatives from the Child Protection Alliance and I ask them certain questions, they will tell me this is not under our jurisdiction. So I just want to understand what is your boundary? Where are you supposed to stop? What can you do and what can't you do? So just take us through that before we get into the discussion proper.
Thank you so much, Geneva. I think generally when we talk about issues of human rights, it should be perceived as issue of accountability. That somewhere must be able to be held into account when it comes to making sure that these rights are protected. Mind me, rights are not given or taken, rights are only protected. And when it comes to issues of child rights particularly, you realize that within the frame of accountability, Gambia as a state party has ratified regional and international legal instruments on behalf of children. Notable one, we talked about the United Nations Convention on the Right of the Child, which Gambia has ratified in 1990. Also, too, we have the African Charter on the Right and Welfare of the Child. Gambia also ratified that in 2000. That has given the inspiration to have the domesticated version of the Children Act 2005, which is quite the comprehensive legal framework that is to protect the welfare of children other than the Constitution. So basically, when you look at also too the issue of that accountability framework, you realize that the state has the primary responsibility and duty to make sure that every individual child in this country is being protected. Even though when you come to the issue of the roles and responsibilities, you have the roles also designated as per the level. Maybe if you are in the homes, you expect parents to be taking the primary responsibility, primary role to make sure that children are protected and safeguarded. But also too, because of rights are protected, they're codified to have the legal framework. And the main custodian of those legal framework obviously is the state. Where violation occurs, you expect the state apparatus to take the appropriate action. For example, when you talk about enforcement, you have the police. And within the framework of child protection, you don't have every police officer designated to take care of issues of children. Every police station you go to this country now, you have what we call the child welfare officer, who are mandated to arrest, detain, prosecute. So ordinarily, civil society organization might not have that mandate. Civil society organization would have two things actually to do with government. Is to have a complementary role in terms of what government wants to do, and they don't have the expertise, they don't have the sufficient resources. You know, civil society organization could do certain lobbying to get resources to complement around this area, the effort of government. But also to what is key in the work of civil society is also to hold government into account, as I said, because it's about accountability. If government fails to enforce the laws, if government fails to invest around issues of children, if the law, for example, you look at the Constitution, 30 of the Constitution talks about compulsory basic education. That means from grade 1 to grade 9 should be free and it should be supposed to be compulsory. You go to the same Children Act 2005, Section 18, make an emphasis on the same educational need, that children must be, basic education must be compulsory, must be free, and must be accessible to all. In terms of accountability, you want to look at the general environment. Do we really have free education?
Well, that's what I even want to ask. I mean, if you tell me from grade 1 to 9 is free, and just few days, parents are complaining about certain things, you know, the opening of schools. It's a problem.
You know, I will tell people, look, we don't have free education. I have looked at that article. I even have it on my phone and screenshot it to make sure that, well, this is something that we can talk on when we have policies matters. We don't have free education in the country. What we have is free tuition fees. And you know, statistically have shown in terms of financial commitment, what parents are contributing towards their school, tuition fee, or school expenses of their children is more than what government is contributing. So we don't have free education. We don't have also, I'm not also sure that even we have compulsory education. Compulsory means you don't have a choice. Parents don't have a choice, but their children of age going to school, going to school, must be in school.
Okay, so Mr. Fati, in as much as you're saying there's no free education, there's free tuition, the fact that whatever the case might be, the government is contributing something. But have you done some sort of comparison in the region to know where Gambia stands when it comes to free education? Just to know if we're actually using our meager resources to contribute something, or they're just reluctant. So did you do a study in the region just to know where we stand?
I think overall, you don't need to even make quite a comparison around it. When you look at one of the instruments that Gambia has ratified, the UNCRC, Article 4 has challenged state parties to make sure that they are able to put whether the laws, the administrative structures, and educational, innovative, so make sure that, people are aware of the laws. But also, too, they must be able to invest their mega resources to the maximum extent possible within the Agri-International Framework.
Okay.
So the Agri-International Framework is nothing other than what is within the UNCRC.
Okay.
So for me, if you talk about the issue of free education, I would feel like, okay, now how do we even determine that? Because it's about investment. You go to our national budget, you realize that up to date, our national budget cannot even accommodate 2% allocation towards the welfare of children.
Okay.
We have a new establishment of a ministry and directorates who are virtually at one point, you realize the whole directorate been operational only to be catered for within the national budget and what we call recurrent expenditure. Nothing related to programs, nothing related to social welfare services. So how do you expect us to move to address the numerous issues that we have confronting children?
Yeah, we've been having a lot of children problems, and we're still having it in this country. Let's talk about child exploitation, child abuse, child protection. What does child protection alliance do when they come into contact with such a case?
Well, as I alluded earlier, because we are civil society, we are an NGO in the country, what we do is to complement and also to hold government accountable. In terms of having to intervene in issues of violation where they happen, we have a role. When we receive, we make sure that it is, refer to the appropriate authority for an action. But also the moment we do that referral is about how do we monitor the progress. Sometimes we have situations where even matters will go before the courts just for people to come back and realize the judgment is not proper. And we could obviously engage the appropriate authority. If it is a matter of judgment, we engage the AG's chambers to make sure that, this has been passed. But we're thinking of how do we, if it is not in line with what the law says, you could able to make sure that you support the process of appealing that judgment. I remember there was an instance where we have an element of, someone has been convicted on defilement, which when you look at the defilement in the law is saying, you don't have option of a fine. What you have is a mandatory jail term not exceeding 7 years. But the judgment give out 10,000 payable in 1 year. So we feel like, okay, this is quite something that anybody could pay in. And I think it's not something that would deter anybody from using his force to abuse young girls anyhow. So we feel like, okay, I think we need to engage the AG chambers to make sure that this judgment could be appealed and the matter goes back to the court. So we do a lot of that. And we also do a lot of, sharing of ideas, even where we refer cases. Sometimes we have an issue of people enforcing the laws, especially within the police, not even too au fait with the laws. Because, you know, when you talk about issues of rape is not everything that when you forcefully have a certain knowledge of a person could be classified as rape. So you looked at defilement, what is rape defilement, what is rape, and all those stuff.
Yes, so Mr. Fati, I know there has been a lot of advocacy coming from the Child Protection Alliance, and recently we've seen a video of a guardian actually using a mortar-like instrument and hitting a child. So I just want to understand, when it comes to the advocacy, how far have we gone? How are parents actually accepting that child right even exists? Because at some point still, you talk to parents and they will tell you, Lolo da fa yahale. So do you think the advocacy is really reaching the grassroots as to how a child needs to be treated with dignity and respect?
Well, I think obviously for CPA, and it also was established at a time when we already started the crusade around the element of advocacy and awareness around the rights of children. And as you're talking about 20 years plus when Gambia has ratified all these legal instruments. And I think there have been a lot of efforts in trying to create the awareness when it comes to issues of right of children. But I also think one of the factors, or one of the many factors, is the fact that when you look at the issues of children are just perceived as objects that parents possess. It's their property that they could say and do anyhow they feel like. Right, and also too, because you have that cultural perception around the role and responsibility of children in the homes. They tend to take it that, well, it's normal. For example, it's normal to certain setup taking a child to go and beg on the street. Or you have a child assigned to go into the field to go and walk. But you realize that because those are cultural acceptable, you look at what the law says, it's quite contradictory as to what is happening. So for me, there's an element of, yes, I would say there has been some great improvement, especially in regions where there has been rigorous advocacy or campaign around issues of child rights. But still now, I think there's a lot more to be done. And I always tell people, I think one of the things that we are missing out is the fact that, you know, the best way of child upbringing is within the religious context. And I think the religious leaders here are missing that point. And I think it's supposed to be an element of, you know, when you have your sermon, when you communicate, this is a social issue that is affecting the next generation. What is the role of the religion in terms of trying to, you know, reach out to the people? If you read the religion, we all have read 1 or 2 things about it, you realize there is nothing that talks about an element of exposing the child to things that will, detrimental to the health and well-being of the particular child. So I think there's a whole lot of things that we really need.
I know when it comes to sermons, they're trying, because sometimes you hear some of our imams, someone talking about corruption, you know, talking about all the issues. So I think it's a good recommendation in relation to some of the things that they can do to talk to parents and just improve the plight of children generally. Yes,
it's important. And I'll just take you to very soon, the tourism season will begin. And, you know, we do most of these things. We have the tourism security unit, but it's not enough. And we want organizations like CPA. We've just heard the minister said the British government have now allowed their tourists to come to the Gambia. And a lot of things happen at the beach side of the Gambia. So Child Protection Alliance, what do you do to make sure you protect our youngsters?
Well, I think around the area of tourism, there has been quite, I know we used to have a tense moment, particularly myself being in the center of, you know, police interrogation or police, questioning also pertaining to a publication that has been done. But I think when you're coming down to the context of our, tourism sector in this country in relation to child sexual exploitation, you know, this is something that is of a concern and has ever been a great concern to us, even though governments accept it or not. But we all realize that, well, it is something that has exposed our children to a lot of vulnerability. And you can relate that to, you know, most of the children that goes there is either by tourists or they are within that tourist development area to sell items that worth nothing. But also for us, the concern is we work within the premises of the laws. When you look at the Tourist Offence Act, when you looked at that, it has clearly stipulated and has demarcated what we call the tourist development areas, and has given provisions that even children should not be within those things without being accompanied by parents. When it comes to issues of dealing with the hotels, that a minor cannot go and visit a visitor into a room. These are all policies. We even have gone to the extent of developing the code of conduct with UNICEF together with EPAT International. So to make sure that, you know, we don't only have the laws, but we also develop code of conduct. And we continuously build the capacity of those within the tourist development area. Currently, what we're doing, we're conducting a baseline survey to know the extent in terms of statistics. Because what we do, I think most of our discussion is centered around opinion. We hardly have, you know, statistics or data in terms of this issue. So we thought it wise at our level to make sure that, you know, let's engage Save the Children International. Let's do a kind of like a baseline study so that we are able to get the facts, we are able to get the root cause. Because this is what will also inform our engagement with the government and other state actors. But as you said, the tourism is about coming up. Well, I must recommend that, well, GT Board has taken the initiative initially to engage Child Protection Alliance and other actors to see how best we are able to work addressing these issues. Fundamentally, what is important for me is the fact that, yes, the government must be in a position to accept these are issues affecting them. And we are able to work together.
Mr. Fati, who are your partners? Who do you work with? Child Protection Alliance.
Well, we have national partners and international partners. One of our long-standing partners is Save the Children International. We've also been working with EPAT Netherlands, right? And CPA actually is the country rep of EPAT Netherlands in the Gambia. And also, too, we work with UNICEF, we work with other like-minded organizations. And mind you also, too, CPA is kind of like a secretarial of about 36 different organizations that came together to have it operational so that everybody will be able to play a role. So we should be in a position to do.
So Mr. Fati, quickly, due to time constraints, thank you so much for letting us know who your partners are. But just quickly, we know the Day of the Girl is just around the corner. So what are some of the plans put in place to make sure that the advocacy, we use the day to actually do some form of advocacy?
Well, basically, I think every year, the day is being commemorated with a theme.
And this year, the theme is on technology, girls, robotics. The girls are doing quite well in that area. So
I think that, and also too, I think that would be an element of advocacy. So we move along, but sometimes too, we will look at actually what is the need of our realities within our context to make sure that we come up, you can domesticate the team. So what we do normally when we look at that, we look at the general environment around in terms of investment. So basically, I think we'll still continue. When you talk about issues of technology, you realize we are still far lacking behind. So still now this boils down to, okay, if we're thinking about girls having access to technology, girls having some level of, you know, capacity building around that, we may feel and well, you must not only think about the policies, but we want to see the institutions. And especially when I talk about the institution now, I think most of our facilities we have, they are all urbanized. We want to see more decentralization of these facilities so that at the end of the day, it becomes accessible to each and every girl child.
But do you think the Gambia is safe for the girl? The Gambia is safe for the girl child?
Well, with the current situation, with currently what is happening, I would not say we are too safe because you hardly go by the week without having an issue of violation taking place, whether it's rape, whether it's other. We especially typically sometimes some of these things that we have an oversight over is the fact that having to see a girl child selling on the street, to me, is an exploitation, it's some abuse. Right, and so it is happening. I remember just some days ago, somebody called me to say, we have a whole area where a student goes there. It's a kind of like a motel. They go there, and the person, I said, okay, you know what, we're going to make sure that this place we integrate. So it's, for me, I think when in terms of laws, in terms of policy, we have quite an ample one that could protect children, but the lack of enforcement, obviously. So for me, it's about the end that matters to me. It's the environment quite conducive for every girl child.
right?
Absolutely.
So due to time constraints, I'm afraid we have to let you go. But I believe this discussion needs to be continued.
Yes, definitely. We'll invite Mr. Fati again.
Yeah.
We'll do this again.
Yeah, it's important because when it comes to children's issues, it's not something you can finish within a 20-minute discussion. But thank you so much, Lamin Fati, for coming, and thank you for the work you do. So we will take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we will be joined by our colleague Ade Durami to take us through what is happening in the world of sports. Do stay tuned.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
Check out the all-new Tigo 8 at S-Pass Motors. Call 3522-222 or 353-2222 for more information.
Cherry. Light. From the beginning of time, light has been there.
It is integral to our survival and to our way of living.
We need light to work,
to build,
to grow things, and even to see our loved ones.
Light makes things easier and better.
So QCell has changed the way you buy Q-Power to make it easier and more accessible.
You can now access the same service quickly and get your cash power tokens instantly with the new QCell Q-Power code.
To light up your world, simply dial *363#.
With a touch of your fingers,
with ease and convenience from the comfort of your home or office,
you can bring light into your world instantly with *363#.
Q-Power, lighting your world.
QCell Sunyabus.
We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back, viewers, from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning, and I'm joined by my co-host Ibrahim Abalde.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and you know, today is International Day of Sign Languages. We forgot to mention that.
Oh, Jay, baby, take this. That's for you. You know the meaning of this?
Okay, so this means love, right?
This means love.
Yeah, this means love. We're sending love to all of you guys.
To all of you.
Yeah.
How about if you send double?
Anyway, we're, you know, deaf people are part of us, and it's trend beyond all odds for me all the time. So to all of you, we're sending some light and love. Thank you so much, Adedrami, for joining us. In as much as he's here to talk about sports, but he's a very big advocate of people living with disability.
Very much so. You know, I'm one of these people, I go and I annoy people and say, you know, I go into a building and I say, you know, why don't you have disability access and that kind of thing, because I don't think it's taken seriously enough. And I think on a day like today, which is, you know, mainly about sign languages, but I think we should use it to highlight other disadvantages that are facing people with, you know, disabilities as well.
Okay, so take us through what is happening in the world of sports.
Well, world of sport, I say sport, but it's really football. I was going to say football is back. And I was even tempted to come and dress in football gear, but then I thought if I do that, the next time I come and do some basketball thing, you'll expect me to be in basketball gear, tennis and so on. So I thought, no, let me just rock some trainers.
Imagine doing some wrestling thing.
That's right. So football, I say football has been back for a while, but what's been the kind of added ingredient around the rest of the world is that football is back with audiences, with spectators. And over the weekend, there was a competition in Nigeria, in Lagos, and it was a 2-week competition, the Aisha Buhari Cup, after the First Lady, and it was a joint venture between FIFA World Football Governing Body, and CAF, the African Football Governing Body. And I hope we can see some video of the winners who were South Africa. There were 6 nations that took part in the competition: Nigeria, Cameroon, Mali, Morocco, and South Africa. Now, South Africa were the winners. And I have to say, I love football, but I'll be honest, I don't tend to watch a lot of women's football.
Okay.
So this time I thought, let me make an exception because of the quality of the teams that were involved.
Amazing.
And I have to say, I was richly rewarded. I saw some fantastic football, and I am predicting, and I want this on record, there's a South African player, Motlani. In 2 to 3 years, if she is not a world star, I will eat my hat. She was the star of the tournament.
Oh, wow.
Skillful beyond belief, really, really good. And she emerged as the star of the tournament, without a doubt. In the final game, South Africa actually beat Nigeria 4-2. And of course, Nigeria being the host, were hoping they would win, sort of end with a victory. But when I saw how the South Africans had dispatched of the Ghanaian team, who were also very good, I thought Nigeria would have a tough one of it and it didn't help that Nigeria in the final game gave away 2 penalties, which were easily dispatched. I mean, South Africa was superior anyway, so they didn't need the help of those penalties, but that helped, and they won. And the reason they decided to do this is because of COVID interruptions. Many competitions, including women's football competitions, had been put on hold. And so this one was meant to highlight the quality of women's football in Africa, and I think it certainly did that. As I say, South Africa were head and shoulders above everybody else. And I was surprised. As I said, I follow women's football loosely, but their performance they put on, I was really, really impressed. And I expect big things of them if they keep that team together and even add to it. Great. It was a mixture of kind of veterans and younger players. And Motlani is one of the younger players. I think she's only about 22, but very, very skillful. Next thing, talking about football being back, people follow football. They heard of Arsene Wenger, although when he first went to England, the Sun newspaper had the headline, Arsene who? And then he'd only managed Monaco, and they thought that was a small team he'd managed in Japan. But of course, by the time he left England, he'd left his mark. Arsene Wenger, he'd won 3 top division championships with Arsenal. And he's now a respected person in world football. So FIFA, there's a revolution coming, people. And that revolution is to do with the frequency of football competitions. We're used to the World Cup ever since it started being every 4 years. Well, guess what? Wenger has consulted with football nations and associations around the world, and they want it to be every 2 years.
Wow, amazing.
We had something similar with AFCON, where it's moved from being every 4 years to every 2 years, and something similar is going to happen with the World Cup. That's the proposal. And they are going to vote, and the reason I wanted to come on today is that they're going to vote in a kind of virtual conference on the 30th of this month. And I expect the Gambian Football Federation to be amongst those voting. And I wanted to do a piece, and we're hoping to do a piece. We've contacted them about whether they're going to be in support or against having it every 2 years as opposed to every 4. And I don't know, I know you're both football fans. I mean, what are your thoughts on it being every 2 years as opposed to every 4?
For me, I don't watch football a lot, but I just feel like I want it every 2 years, just so we'll have it balanced, and some of these teams' potential will get to come out, because having to wait for 4 years, you might lose some skill. I don't know. I'm not a football fan, but I just feel like with having it every 2 years, it might be even, and everybody might have a chance to actually show what they have to offer.
I think you've actually nailed it, because there are some footballers who they shine bright for 2 or 3 years.
And then they drop.
Yes. If it's every 4 years, they shine bright at this World Cup, and then another 4 years, they probably...
Yes, and also, putting aside shine bright, let's also take a look at the age aspect. You know, because the more you age at some point you have to retire. But if it's every 2 years, then you can fully realize your potential and get what you deserve. But if it's 4 years, then you have to wait, and eventually you're going to get old and you have to leave.
Well, let's go back to, although time is not on our side, but let's go back to women football. When you look at women football, most countries in Africa don't take women football seriously.
It's not just in Africa. In most of the rest of the world, women's football is not taken seriously. There are countries, there are exceptions, of course. America, China, in the United Kingdom, is taken very seriously. And in fact, America just a month ago, set a world first where their women's and their men's football team, their national team, are to be paid the same.
Oh.
They're the only country in the world to do that. Because in fact, in America, women's football is probably more popular than men's football, and that might be because the American women's team has won the World Cup, what, 4 times? And of course, their men's team never have, so yeah.
So I'm afraid we might have to let you go due to time constraints. Thank you so much for that update.
All right, next time I'll come juggling a ball.
Yeah. And next time I'll come with my tennis cards and do some tennis. So let's take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll head right on to the click segment. So let's take a short break and we'll be right back.
Cool.
Best product in town is back. QCell's MiFi router. Get the best MiFi in the country for just $2,800 and connect up to 15 users with 4G internet speeds and a long-lasting battery life. So rush now to any of our customer care locations and get the best for less while stocks last. For more info, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Boss, the Gambia's quality network. We innovate, others follow. Fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and RIA just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any QMoney agent across the country to receive your payment for free, or use the money immediately to buy credit, QPower, and other QMoney services. It's fast, safe, and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sinu Calpe. Terms and conditions apply. To make sure your company's products and services reach your potential customers, it is essential that you choose the right channel for your marketing purposes. QTV has the widest reach locally and beyond, and we can give your business the visibility it needs. Call QTV Marketing on +220 324 4444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm and take your business to the world.
Novelas ni magunge ci sama kër gi ba xet ji ne duma toog duma tàyyi man daal de moo koy wëri parfum novelas suñ ko bis ki kër gi xet gi day neex parfum novelas mooy waaja lii mooy parfum novelas parfum bi dafa neex forest bi dafa neex saxaar bari dafa neex lii mooy parfum novelas parfum bi dafa neex almadina boo ko pompee xet gi day gunguni lii mooy parfum novelas baxuur bi dafa neex brise marine bi ak yëpp a neex ak novelas féppay xeeñ neex.
Light. From the beginning of time, light has been there.
It is integral to our survival and to our way of living.
We need light to work,
to build,
to grow things, and even to see our loved ones.
Light makes things easier and better.
So QCell has changed the way you buy QPower to make it easier and more accessible.
You can now access the same service quickly and get your cash power tokens instantly with the new QCell QPower code.
To light up your world, simply dial *363#.
With a touch of your fingers,
with ease and convenience from the comfort of your home or office,
you can bring light into your world instantly with *363#.
QPower, lighting your world.
QCell Sunyabus.
We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back, viewers, from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning, and I'm here with my co-host, Ibrahim Abalde.
Oh, yeah.
And today, we're not joined by Skengman Sweetie,
yeah.
but today we're joined by our man,
man.
Dels. Thank you for joining us.
Yo, welcome to the entertainment segment, man. It's going down. I got a special guest today, man.
Okay.
But before we get to the special guest, Gambian artists are working really, really hard.
Okay.
And over these past weeks, they've been dropping music videos. So we're going to check it out quickly and check out the brand new music videos. Make sure you check out these videos. They're playing on QTV, and here they are, you know.
I just want to give you more of everything you like.
Now realize, boys all they don't want me living life. They just wanna see me suicide. If you not with me, you are on the other side.
Be bad for me bun, bad for me bun, bad for me bun. Man can give me bun, got me hot for me bun, got me sharp for me bun. Done. Baby, you know say I love you die. My mama and papa say you know be the guy.
Go away for money, yeah. Go down for money, dirty wife for money, yeah. Slow down for money, yeah.
Side al jaru lo fale. Jige koko toro khaldinga kogi.
Girl, I no goodbye you. Girl, I no goodbye. I just want to give you more of everything you like.
Now realize, boys all they don't want me living life.
And we are right back. I hope you guys were feeling this playlist. Check out these brand new music videos. And today we've got a special guest. If you checked, she was in the brand new music video, Women Deserve Better. Miss Jovis Kalajala in the building.
Yeah,
welcome.
That's me.
It's amazing.
That's me.
It's amazing to have you today on this morning. And let's get started. That video, Women Deserve Better.
Yeah, we do.
What's it all about? Let people know.
You know, like women in Gambian industry, we are marginalized. We're not given much opportunities to showcase what we have. And for the fact that they have less support for us and less concern, we have to come up with something. But I bet I'm coming out with something huge. My video will be dropping soon.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh yeah, this girl has been working. And when I mean working, my people, she's been really working. We're just gonna take a quick look at her catalog of the amount of music videos she shot, because I'm proud of this girl right here.
Oh.
She's been working, definitely.
Thank you.
Be once him from all minimal. They don't like me, but I won't stop. Hit my name everywhere. They don't want me to go far, so I let them know the girl is taking over. And if I say I did for you, I'll die for you, mon chéri coco. Namole, put your hands in the air. Bonamole, put your hands in the air.
You already know what it is. I am proud of you, girl, because you've been working hard. And definitely you're about to launch something great.
Yeah.
Let people know, please, when it is.
I'll be launching my album on the 30th of October. Yeah, it's not going to be easy because I don't want it to be easy. The girl is not easy herself.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I put a lot of work in this, and I'm calling on all the Gambians. Yo, it's high time we start supporting women.
Definitely. We need to support our
especially
women.
when somebody, you know, like they said, they're doing the job, we're not working.
She's
so
been
if a
putting in
sister
work.
is working, I put something on your table.
Yeah.
I think I really serve you well, so you
Definitely.
should serve me the same way
Definitely.
by coming and support my event.
We know
on
there are
the
a few
30th of
challenges
October.
when doing a show in Gambia. What are some of these challenges you face? Especially for this
Sponsors.
event of yours right now.
Yeah, like sponsors.
Sponsorship.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And
Come on, we got to sponsor our girl, man. She's been working for years.
Doing so well.
So we definitely need
We
to
can say that.
sponsor her.
And promotion.
Promotion as well.
Yeah, promotion is like, let's say, most promoters are really biased. Okay, this is my friend, I'm going to promote my friend, and that's it.
And that's it.
And they say like Gambian music, not so.
Yeah.
We should be here for each other.
Yeah.
That was our main aim from the beginning.
Definitely.
So why are we being biased, like supporting a friend and that's
Only
it?
a friend.
You don't want to support a lady. Why is that? Why is the promoters cannot support females? Do we have a problem?
We're going to have to bring some promoters over here next time and ask them why. What is
do
the
we
problem
have a
with this?
problem? And they're really nice to us when we meet.
Well, Jay, Dals, I agree with Mrs. Jobes. Miss Jobes, I call her Mrs.
Mrs. Jobes.
Miss
Yeah.
Jobes.
So I know she's a very fine artist, but I think we should not depend on sponsors, because most sponsors today, if you were to wait for them, your event will delay.
That's very true. That is true. No, I'm not waiting for nobody. Because with or without sponsors, I did my show, my EP, without no sponsor.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so I don't wait for nobody. I have to I have to show people that, you know what, I got this. Okay. And I would do my best. Definitely. You know, you just never know. Somebody outside might just feel like, okay, I felt like I wanted to support her back then, but then something was lacking. But now I see she's putting so much work. I feel like I would do something. You know, so you just never depend on them. You have to focus on yourself and work really hard on yourself.
Absolutely.
You will see sponsors coming.
I have a quick question. Yeah. One of my favorite songs of this job is Keep the Faith, Ilalungo Benala. I love that because I listen to it and it gives me that boost to do more. So is it because of an experience that you encountered, you felt down, that is why you came up with that song, or it's just general?
Like that's the beauty of art. You're going through something, like we're all human beings. We go through the same issue. So you as an artist, that's the thing you have to do. Like you come up with something that everybody can relate to. I feel like I'm going through a lot, but somebody there is also going through the same thing.
That's why music is therapy.
Exactly.
Music is therapy, definitely.
It's me. Anytime I drop a song, it's about me. But then people relate to it.
All right.
Yeah.
Because we all go through these emotions. So I'm going to let you, one more time, let the people know the date, an event, you know, what is going down.
October 30th at Benjamin.
Yeah. Be there.
Man, let's go feel Benjamin.
We're going to fill it up. We're going to fill it up.
Wow.
You go fill up.
Wow.
After you fill up Q City.
Wow.
After Q City Stadium.
Come for the guy like never mas. Why there? But I'm more them. Then you just acapella, keep the faith. Keep the faith, them man.
So you want to keep the faith?
Hey, why? Jada, I
keep the faith. Ilalunga binala.
Lisa.
Na watu sita jongo mankuno je. Aladama mansuwa tele kubeno. Na molbe sirin ninjuko kombe kubale kele fonsi kubale ke. Na fansolo albe sirin kombe kubale kele fonsi kubale ke.
That was beautiful.
30th of October. Let's feel up Benjamin.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be there.
Sure.
Yeah, you should be there. She should be there. You should be there. You should be there.
No,
and you should be there.
The whole QCell crew should be there.
What
She's our girl. That's the QCell girl.
Wow, you take.
Yeah, true. That's right.
All right. So thank you so much, Dels, for joining us on this morning, and thank you so much. Yes.
Keep supporting our artists.
Yeah.
And it's all about
yeah, bottom gum vibes. I'm a lot of time. That man Dels. Thank you so much, Miss Jobis, as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. So viewers, I'm afraid that is all we have time for, Ibrahima.
Oh yeah.
I feel so sad because today is Thursday.
Oh, it's Thursday
already.
It is
Thursday.
thought it's Wednesday.
Yeah, it is.
Oh
so,
my God.
Yeah, we might have to.
Can we do this tomorrow?
We should do this tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll do this
tomorrow. And
tomorrow.
guys say that dinañu
We'll
buy.
see. Yeah, we'll talk to program.
Si ñëw leen gis ngeen novela. ñu ngi fi ak ñun.
Seen parfum bi neex na.
Wax dëgg.
Ba pare soo ko laalee. Oh, dafa nice.
Wow. So fi mu nekk nii we're calling on all of you guys to come and join us here on this platform to sponsor it, and we will get to take you places. Why Balde? Man waxuloo ma tey suma demee Grand Buba. Ana yow gisoo ma.
Manela affaire si dafa fees suma gémmiñ.
Ma ne Mariama Jawara de mu ma ko jox ma ne ko yow sa demee Grand Buba lan la ci man.
Soo ne Mariama Jawara duñ xam waxal Mariama Makeup.
Mariama Makeup yow sa demee Grand Buba lan la ci man yow.
Lii la mbaa jaama.
Mbaa jaama. So viewers, see you on Monday. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye for now.